Good morning, everyone. Let me know that you can hear me okay. I decided to come in a little bit early today, setting up some things. Figured we could start chatting a little bit before we get moving with practice. So I hope everyone is having a beautiful morning. It's finally going to get a little warm today. I'm looking forward to it. It was a little nippy for the last few days, yeah. For those of you who are wondering, I got my car back yesterday. Yay. So that was kind of quick order. What a difference a week makes, you all. It's been a heck of a week with the car accident, feeling under the weather with congestion and dripping nose and all of that stuff. And I figured, well, maybe I should try to postpone. I'm all janky. Sorry, you guys. Um, uh, didn't want to be in the outdoor yoga with everyone with any sort of compromise about how I'm feeling. So we are back on, however. So welcome. If you're up for it this weekend on Saturday, come on out. 8 in the morning up at Turner Dodge. We'll make a great big circle. I'll bring some yoga mats in case you need some, or you want one at least like under your own, kind of touching the ground. And we'll get on a nice morning flow. You might want to bring something as far as for some bug repellent, but I'm also hoping that because of the early hour that we will beat the morning rush of insect assault. And I'll also have a couple of citronella candles. So Saturday morning at 8 a.m. up at Turner Dodge. So welcome to everyone who is just showing up. Like I said, I popped in a little early. We're not going to get started for another few minutes to let folks show up. I'm not trying to start the show early and have people missing out on class. But I just thought I would start a little bit of chit chat. So feel free to say hello and let me know that you're here. How are you doing? And did anyone participate yesterday? And how are you feeling about our obstacles in our practice? Because that's kind of intense, right? Looking at the obstacles that are in our way. So yeah, also tomorrow, 7 p.m., Turner Dodge, and Saturday, 8 a.m. So those are going to be our live plans for our yoga. So come on out at the Turner Dodge House. If you don't know where it is here in Lansing, it's up off of Grand River. I will let you all know that the Grand River Bridge near Willow is closing. Oh, well, it's closing on the 22nd. I just saw they started putting equipment up there. So, and that's an easy way to get there through Old Town, but you'll probably have to go up Turner and make a left on Grand River because that bridge is going to be closing after this week. So, yay. All right, come on, type in there and let me know that you all are here. I see some lurkers popping in and just want to just say hi first. How's everyone doing and feeling as we're becoming, I guess, a little bit more mobile? We're jumping out there and doing more things out in the community. I hope that everyone is still remaining safe and not, don't forget your masks, even if you just want to keep a couple, in the car, a little extra. I want to thank a nice little shout out to Rena Risper, who came by and dropped off a handmade mask that I gave to Mr. Kelly, who's my next door neighbor, an elderly guy who's a ton of fun. And so I just really appreciate the level of community that's really stepped up in the time of our pandemic. I'm really appreciative of cherries, which is one of the first things I did once I got a car. I was to go. I didn't have any fresh fruit. Okay. Well, so I've got people who are in, but not really wanting to comment, and that's all right. You do you. I'll do me. We're here for our home yoga practice live. So good morning, everyone. I'm Belinda, and you're here at Just Be Yoga, or with Just Be Yoga in a virtual sense, for our home yoga practice live. And it's Wednesday, June 17th. And our practice this week for developing in our home yoga practice was exploring obstacles to actually doing the thing, right? Sometimes we can think about it and go, oh yeah, I want to get into my practice. We can talk to other people about it and get excited. But when it comes down to literally rolling out the mat and sitting with ourselves, how often does it just look like where we don't know, oh, what am I supposed to be doing? Hi, Alex. Great to have you. So in the home yoga practice live, what I've been trying to do, and so feel free to go and look at the playlists. Good morning. Hey, Joe. Hey, Claudia. Feel free to go look at our playlists and look at themes for various weeks and different ways of approaching, giving tips and tools for exploring physical asana yoga at home, breath, and I probably need to be spending a lot more time with sharing tools for meditation at home. I do not know what that ding ding was, so we will let that go. Alrighty. So obstacles I shared yesterday. We have 9 main obstacles to doing the thing. Okay. Physical illness, legit, right? So if we're ill or have an injury, how do we respect that and still not tell ourselves no? So that could mean doing a visualization, right? If you were in a full body cast, could you end up still practicing your yoga? How would we do that? So illness, legit. Lethargy, haste, doubt, right? We doubt that we can do it, or we doubt that we have time. Just see it as a great big roadblock that we put in front of ourselves and say, nope, can't do it today. Lack of enthusiasm, right? How many times are we like, meh? Distraction, being distracted in life, very distracted. I am in that category. Arrogance / ignorance, and that's a slippery one, right? Because that really points the spotlight into ourselves and our motivation. And if we feel like I've got the perfect down dog. Right? Okay, so I'm totally exaggerating right now, but I think you get my point, where we feel like we know it, been there, done it. Maybe you've had a dedicated practice for 3, 5, 10 years, and you're just like, there's nothing left to explore. I've done all of the yoga. I'm enlightened. So that's another hindrance, right? Another obstacle. Quitting. Just absolutely quitting or believing that we're incapable of taking another step in the yoga. Maybe it's this whole like spiritual or moral aspect that you're like, well, I just want to work on my hip and my back. And I'm not ever going to say that that's illegitimate. That's going to be great. But there's more. And so the quitting or saying that we're incapable of taking another step, what is that about? What are we closing ourselves to? Maybe we, if we're going to excise the limb off of the tree, you can't call that twig the whole tree of yoga. And then lost confidence, losing confidence in ourselves. All right, Wednesdays are powering it up. So we're going to work on different aspects of what is empowering in our practice and how do we do that at home. Let's start with a sit. I want to start with a sit. Again, these are all tips and tools. Try to find a steady time of day where you can at least do a sit, maybe a steady time of day that you'll do your asana. If they can both be at the same time, bonus. If they can't, do you find another way to fit it in? Or do you say, oh, I missed my 7 a.m. window. Guess I ain't doing yoga today, right? So we get to start to look at that. So I like to always start my practice coming into a quiet space inside. Doesn't mean that the outside world is quiet. So you might hear traffic And over the last few weeks, my neighbor has decided that right now is a really good time to pull out his riding mower. So I got to deal with that distraction and be grateful for it in my practice. Sit any way that you like. Your legs could be extended out in front of you. You could be sitting cross-legged. You could be sitting in a chair. You could be lying down. So the point of what I'm trying to share is that yoga is always yours. And that to me, no student's goal is to mimic their yoga against their teachers. It's how do I make that mine? And maybe later we'll talk about how to not end up doing any sort of cultural appropriation along the way. All right. Checking in with my physical body. So my back and my hips have been achy. So I actually took a couple of ibuprofen this morning, which is not a norm. So that's a part of me checking in with my physical body. Right shoulder. I don't know if it's from weed whacker or what, but it's been a little upset. My body's a little fatigued. I'm a little erratic in my sleep lately. So I share that only as a guide for you to explore, what's going on in me? Notice any discomfort in the quietude or peace. And I like to bring my hands to my heart center and the Anjali Mudra, reminding me of holding my heart in my hands, and to start my practice with what is my intention for coming to myself on my mat today? And I just want to be willing to listen to myself today. My mental self, which has definitely been in a push, push, push kind of mentality. So allow yourself to sit with inviting an intention. And I put it that way because I think sometimes we feel like we're forced to set some really deep intention. And if we just open ourselves to listening, sometimes that's all we need. Opening ourselves to awakening doesn't have to be some intense, euphoric, life-changing, deep, deep, deep moment. Invite the simplicity. I want to start with an om. So wide open throat, relaxing the diaphragm, just kind of waking up my cellular membranes with some vibration. Deep inhale. And before I begin, I want to remind myself what are the 8 limbs that I am starting to practice. And so the first limb are the yamas, or the do nots: non-stealing, non-lying, non-harming, moderation or abstinence, and non-hoarding. The niyamas, the things I want to do: purification or cleanliness, discipline, devotion, santosha, contentment, self-study and observation, and connecting to something greater than myself, surrender to something greater than myself. That's how I want to walk and be on my mat and off the mat. How I treat my body, asana, making the body a fit vessel for my spirit. Practice and awareness in my breath, giving my breath the gift of my attention. Pratyahara, awareness of my senses, and hopefully a non-attachment to them. Focus and concentration, Meditation or presence of being, presence of mind. That's a nice way, at least for me, of how I can demystify and make meditation accessible for me. And then lastly, unification, bringing it all together. Being in the body and the breath and my senses and all of that non-harming and all that good stuff with concentration and a little humility and presence. Stir that pot while we're on our mat. By the way, that I just covered up the Om with Ganesha. Ganesha is a deity of obstacles, and I thought that Ganesha was appropriate to have in the room today as we talked about the obstacles to practicing. All right, we're going to come to standing. I would like to start to stand in mountain at the beginning of my practice. Remember that you're not here to emulate or be in my body. I have a 5-foot tall body that has been banged up, dinged up over the years. So I am in no way saying that I am the picture of a perfect pose. Hopefully no one is trying to say that they are a picture of a perfect pose. I try to avoid the words should in practice because there is no should of how a pose should look or feel. We are here to explore how they feel in the boundaries of discomfort and comfort and safety within that. I'm going to breathe in and out of the nose, except for the fact that I got to talk. Remember my intention. And arrive here on my mat, ready to move and breathe and unify and connect. And breathing in, lifting, exhale, forward, folding. Those knees could be soft, first, second, third time in, whenever you want. Half flat back, lifting the chest. So just lift, exhale, release. Asking ourselves, how much are we releasing? Half flat back breath in. Have we explored those limits, those boundaries? Exhale, forward fold, rolling the spine up. Breath in and lengthen. Exhale, gentle side bend. Breathing in, lifting up through the rib cage. Don't suck in the gut. Exhale it over. Now, if this is too fast for you, skip things that you want to skip. Breath in and lengthen. Exhale, twist and split it open. Inhale, lift, trying to stay aware of my legs. Exhale, twist. Once we bring attention into the upper body, I find I lose my awareness and connection to the bottom body. Breath in and lengthen, lift, open myself to possibility, forward fold, bowing down into it. Half flat back, planting the palms, stepping to plank. You can be at a plank with your knees down. Exhale, lower, elbows shaving the ribs. Ooh, felt that shoulder. Breath in, lifting the chest, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Butt goes up, head goes down. Knees could be soft. Exploring what is ease in the body. I'm going to pedal the heels up and down, say hello to my calves. I'm feeling the skin around my calves and realizing, I missed lotioning that area, so the skin feels really super tight. So I get to be aware of my senses, my sense of touch and the information my skin is delivering to me. Maybe feel right now all of your senses and what's your connection to all of them. What's the information they're sending you? Breath in, pushing the butt up. I'm going to start to find continual movement. Please stop, pause, skip, look forward, and we'll step, walk, jump the feet up. Half flat back breath in. Forward fold. Inhale all the way up. Rooting, rising, shoulders down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half flat. Exhale, stepping to plank, elbows shave the ribs as we lower. Inhale, cobra, hips staying on the earth. Exhale, down dog, butt up, head down, maybe move the neck. Where are we in space and time? What are we observing and being aware of? What's our distraction? What are the reactions? Breath in. Look forward and let's travel the feet up. Half flat back, breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Chair pose, bending the knees, pulling the knees back, weight in the heels, lifting the chest. Hands could be at prayer. Forward fold, let it go. Half flat back. I'm just going to step my left foot back, back foot flat, right knee bent, coming up, warrior one. Pulling this right hip back, left hip forward. I like to always start the warrior one with the legs a little wider so that they're not on a tightrope line. Feeling the strength, sturdiness, stability of our legs. Letting my chest and my heart lift, my head rise toward whatever it is are my aspirations. Knowing that I have a solid foundation for my aspirations, my dreams, my visions, my envisioning for the world, for myself. Breath in, I'm going to twist it open to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, hands down. Step the left foot up, trading it out, stepping the right foot back. Inhaling it up, coming up, warrior one. Ooh, feeling the front of this hip, making sure I'm not commanding or demanding my body. I'm here on a mission of kindness, on a mission of connecting, harnessing. It's a mission of love. What do I do when I encounter the tension, especially if I'm frustrated at the tension? How am I wearing that out into the world? Breath in, lift, hands down, stepping to plank. I'm going to lower to chaturanga, elbow high, breath, back up to plank, feeling my heat. Elbow high, chaturanga, breath, back up. You could be on your knees, you could be skipping this, and hips up, head down, down dog. Inhale, look forward, step, walk, or jump the feet up. Half flat back, breath in. Forward fold, breath out. Chair pose, bend, drop the butt, lift the chest, face is soft. Be in your whole being. What is our whole countenance reflecting, shining, carrying, conducting? Forward fold, half flat back, stepping that left foot back, back foot flat, coming up, inhale, warrior one, just remembering I don't think I did the twist on the other side, so we're going to do the twist here if you want, bringing it back up, hands down, stepping that left leg up, trading it out, stepping the right foot back, back foot flat, coming up, warrior one, and splitting it open to the left. Feeling the twist in the hips and the thigh. Breath in, coming up, hands down, stepping the plank. Chaturanga if you want it. Back up to plank, down dog. Looking forward, step, walk, or jump the feet up. Half flat back, forward fold. Coming all the way up to standing, lifting, gentle side bend, root, make space, inhale, lift, feel the strength of the legs, exhale it over. Are we overworking somewhere? Where's the trust? Breath in, lift, ease and steadiness, forward fold, let it go. Half flat back, breath in. Step it back to plank, lower through, maybe an up dog instead of a cobra. Tops of the feet are down, hips are lifting. Shoulders down, working that neck. And downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up in the air, hip is closed. Feel this perspective. Touching base right now with our senses. Live in this body as a warm-blooded being. Pointing the toe, opening the hip. Good. Closing the hip, knee to chest. Inhale it up, dropping the head in. Open that hip. And knee to chest. Step the foot through. Stay on the back toes. Coming up crescent. Reaching forward. You can bring the left hand down or elbow outside of the knee. Twist. Let's step the left foot up, twisting chair. Step the left foot back, twisting lunge. Release the twist, coming back up, finding as much of a crescent, as much of a back bend. Hands down, stepping to plank. Maybe you need a break. Maybe go to child's pose. Lower through. Up dog or cobra, making a choice. Shoulders down. Maybe working the neck. Fullness of breath. Are you practicing your breath? Don't sacrifice your breath for posture. Hips up, head down, down dog. Where are you? What are you practicing? Remember your intention. Left leg lifts, hip is neutral. Ooh, feeling the back of that right leg. That's for real. Pointing the toe, opening the hip. Just feeling the intricacies in that hip area. And now knee to chest, shifting forward. Breath. Inhale, lift, dropping the head in, pointing the toe, opening the hip. And shifting forward, knee to chest, knee to chest, knee to chest. Stepping the foot through, staying on the back toes. Coming up crescent. Feel how the energy brightens as our head comes above our heart. Different perspective, an uplifting perspective. Can we invite that? Bring that from on high down in so that we don't get too bogged down in this lower energy. Breath in, reaching forward. Remember that right hand can come down for a twist. Maybe you bring the elbow outside of the left knee. If we've got tummy, we might need to lift it, move it out of the way, either to the left or the right. Pushing that right leg back. Occupy your attention on the breath. Stepping the right foot up, twisting chair. If your hand had been down, you could bring a block here and have your hand on the block for the twist. Lengthening your neck forward. Sinking low and heavy in the butt. Feeling your breath, feeling your organs. Be a physical body. Gonna lift the right leg, stepping it back. Finding that twisting lunge, maybe a little bit more active in that right leg. Releasing the twist, coming up, crescent breath. Hands coming down, stepping to plank, lowering through, up dog or cobra, breath in, breath out, breath in, breath out. What are the obstacles right here? Breath in, breath out. What would we have missed in haste? And down dog when you're ready. Good. Breathe in. Look forward. Step, walk, or jump the feet up. Half flat back. Forward fold. Coming all the way up to standing. Let's reach. Now as far as number of reps. Exhale, side bend. That's up to you. You will know, inhale, if you are pushing yourself to new boundaries, exhale, other side. Or whether you're quitting on yourself. Whether you believe that there's nothing else to explore, breathe in. Are we being truthful with ourselves? Satya. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist, tapas, devotion, dedication. Inhale, but it also cannot be destructive or punitive. Forward fold. Letting it go. Make a sound in your yoga, please. Move the issues in your tissues. Good. Half flat back. Hands to the floor, stepping to plank, chaturanga. Hold, breathe, look at that haze. Back up to plank, down dog. Right leg lifts, point the toe, open the hip, knee to chest. Shifting forward, feel the arms being support. We're in asana. We're not in a fitness class. What are we connecting with? Where's our mind? Where's our breath? Inhale, dropping the head down, lifting the leg. Faith, support, concentration. Good. Shift forward, knee to chest. What quality of breath are we practicing? What amount of kindness are we practicing? Stepping the right foot through, coming up crescent. I start to notice like, what are the distractions that I want? I want to invite a distraction like, I should wipe that sweat. And it's like, no, you don't need that. You can stay in your focus. That sweat isn't going to kill me, right? Even the slightest little fidgets that we use to come out of the focus, twisting it open. Reaching forward. Remember that hand could come down, elbow outside. Finding this twist, make it new. Never been here before. And maybe you're like, yes, we were. Belinda's losing it. Nope, never been here before. This earth at this point on its axis, all new. This breath, never had it, and it's gone. Stepping the left foot up, twisting chair. Okay, I wiped that sweat because I'm slipping. So I'm going to justify that distraction. Stepping that left foot back, finding that twisting lunge. Windmill it open, warrior two. Spinning the back foot flat, hip open. Reverse. Range. How much does this body want to move and cooperate? Side angle. That elbow could stay on the knee. Be in the legs. Occupy. Unify. Bringing it back up. Touch that warrior two. Hands down to the floor. Stepping to plank. Remember, maybe use the knees. Maybe go to child's pose. Chaturanga. Elbow height. Breath. What are the legs doing? Back up to plank. Hoorah. Down dog. Good morning. In breath in our senses. Plug into senses now. Sight. What can you see? Notice if you're judging what you're seeing, but can you just say, oh, wow, these are my eyes. I have sight. Thank you. Breath. Sound. Taste. Smell. Touch. I definitely feel more hot in the chest, neck area than in the legs or the feet. What an amazing nervous system we have. Left leg lifts, pointing the toe, opening the hip. And then shifting forward, knee to chest. So I wanted to regulate my breath, right? I was losing that breath because I'm also practicing so much speaking while doing asana, but I don't want to lose my ease and steadiness. So if that means I got to slow it down, I got to slow it down. Inhale, lift, dropping the head in. How much opening can we explore? How much honesty can we share with ourselves first before we can share it with others? Shift forward, knee to chest. What are you practicing? Now at home, you can do a 10-minute asana practice. And then ask yourself, am I growing in it? I'm going to step the foot through. Coming up for crescent. Or am I paying it lip service? Because you're like, hey, I ran into this teacher that said I don't have to do an hour of practice. True and kind of not true all at the same time. Twisting it open, breath. Because you still want to grow and you want to explore your edges. So you're being honest with yourself about that is all of the practice that you can do, that you need to do in order to grow and progress on your journey in your yoga, in your growth, in your self-awareness practice, because that's what this is. Going to reach forward, maybe the hand comes down, elbow outside of knee, twist, relaxing the belly, seeing if I can navigate something else to move, what wants to move, what doesn't want to move. Am I imposing my will or am I connecting? Stepping the right foot up, finding my twisting chair, feet together, knees together, squeeze, stability, invest in that base. Out of context, but now all I have in my head is all about that base, Stepping the right leg back, how mindfully can we do it? Suspending it, lengthening it, placing it down softly, gently. Be present. Make it meditative. Windmilling it open, warrior two, spinning the back foot flat. Feeling this open space. Maybe close your eyes. Who are we? Why are you here? What is your intention? What are you practicing? Back arm down the back leg if you want to join for a reverse front knee bending. No pressure on the knee joints, sideways. Soften. Patient. Observe what is happening. What is happening? What is truly happening? And we'll come forward, side angle. Remember that elbow could rest here. I'm going to bring my hand down. You could have a block here. Hand to the hip. Remember, I'm just sharing my practice. Developing a personal practice, a personal relationship with it. After you start reading more, if you start practicing and meditating more, start to customize because it's yours. Because your inner landscape, nobody else is there. They don't know the shoulds of what you should be working on. Only you do. And maybe you don't. And that's a part of the practice too, letting it start to be revealed. Bringing ourselves up. Turning those hips open. I'm going to bring my hands behind my back. Open up my chest. I'm going to straighten the front leg and spin on that heel. Both feet open wide. Knees soft. Opening the collarbones first. Not being in a hurry. I'm really paying attention to my need for haste. I hurry up and get through it and noticing what I miss along the way. I've been noticing that a lot just in my day-to-day. Whether I'm writing something, whether I'm working on something on the blog. How much I want this to be done so that I can be thinking about the next thing. And I never gave what I was on my fullest attention. So I got to be here now. And sometimes it's all I say to myself. Be here now, Belinda. Hips forward, open the chest, offering. Fullness of breath. And coming forward. Let the arms go whenever you're ready. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of WTF, because a part of empowering ourselves is learning how to cultivate a little bit of bravery. And bravery means that we're going to step into things that are unfamiliar, maybe a little scary. I'm going to bend my knees a little. I'm going to walk my hands back in between those legs, fingertips down, palms flat, fingertips aiming forward. I'm going to pull my chest forward, my gaze forward. I'm going to start to wiggle my heels in front of my fingertips. Now, that could be enough of like a contortion WTF right here, where you're like, what? What is happening? Now, if you feel like there's space in between your thighs and between your hips for those shoulders and those arms, bend the elbows straight back and lower your hamstrings onto the backs of your upper arms. And look up. You can just sink in the butt and look up here and get a wonderful opening stretch. Well, I can get a wonderful opening stretch in my low back and my hips. There I go, trying to project my lived experience into yours. Nope, that doesn't work. But this is what I'm feeling in my hips. Now I'm going to bend those elbows, bringing the feet out in front of me. And I'm going to lift them and let them kind of pat. Breath. Bujapidasana. Laugh out loud. And we lower our butts down. All right, so maybe that was a little bit of the realm of a little bit of WTF, right? Called it like we see it. And maybe before we go any further, just take a moment and sit. What did we experience physically? In our arms, in our shoulders, in our hips, in our ribs, in our knees, in our feet, in our neck? Or do we not remember? Where was the attention? What was the inner chatter? What was the quality of our breath? Okay, you know what? I think I want to practice it again. All right, so I'm going to come to standing, legs wide. And I'm going to turn sideways this time in case that's a little bit more of a better visual. I'm going to bring the elbows back. Knees are soft, okay? So my legs are not straight. And actually, I'm going to slow down right now because I realized I was already off to the races and I wasn't present, okay? Now, there's a certain amount of me that needs to be able to be off into the future a little bit because I'm trying to guide folks through an experience I'm living. But I also just want to feel, because once I start going too fast, I'm going to lose my root. I'm going to lose the connection to the physical body, the breath body that I really need to be collaborating with to get into Bujapidasana. All right, so now I'm going to let that head go, upper body go. So as you can see, even a start point for this is that upper body needs to have enough release that, it's really able to come down. So that could be your guiding point. And then hands, notice the fingertips, I'm going to have them aiming forward. And I'm going to start to look up, pull my chest up. And I'm wiggling, squiggling my feet in front of the fingertips. And I'm going to bend my elbows straight back, resting the backs of the hamstrings on the bent elbows. And pull the chest forward. Now, what are we observing? What are we feeling? What are we noticing? In the chest, in the throat, in the arms, in the shoulders, in the core. If you tighten your core, you might get a little bit more stability. And then maybe those feet lift. Breath. What's the quality of breath? And the butt comes down. Do a little bit of wrist care. Okay, how was that? How are people feeling? Did anybody give that a try? We'll take a little break here before we do another little bit of exploration. So feel free, if your fingers and your wrists work, to let me know. Did you give that a try? Was it a laugh out loud? What are we observing? What are we seeing? I definitely would love to kind of get a little bit more of that interactivity of the benefit of being live. So I can see that there's people out there, or at least there's eyeballs. Oh, just lost one. It's like, oh, she's talking to me. She can see me. All right. Nobody wants to share whether they tried the Bujapidasana. All right. So we're doing some wrist rotations. That's fine. Sitting and holding for a bit of time. And feeling that inner power as well as some of the obstacles that are going through our mind. Is that what that's what went through your mind? Okay, Claudia, that's legit. Oh. Ansel. Oh, you guys. I miss you guys. It's good to see you. Okay, but we're not done. I'm just going to take us into Tolasana. All right, so if you've got blocks, go ahead and get two. So, and this is honestly a bit of what I do when I'm doing any kind of tasking of myself for tapping into inner power, is that I'll get a flow, get a heat, get something going in my body, and then work like 1 or 2 spaces and really hold that. Oh, your hips liked it. Great. That's legit, Thomas. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Ansel, you got me weepy. Okay. So yeah, get a little bit of heat, which looks like, we did about maybe 25 minutes or so of some flow, some heat, feeling some limbering, checking in on how the body is, checking in on the mind, making sure my motivation, right, that it's not raw, and that I'm still trying to practice some unification. And then 1 or 2 things to really kind of harness in, bring that focus into that empowered core, that empowered activation, okay? So we did Bujapidasana. So now I'm going to introduce us to Tolasana. Now, it's going to be easiest if you have 2 blocks. If you don't, you can bring your hands to the floor. That's fine. So crisscross applesauce, maybe half lotus, 1 heel up. Maybe, if it's accessible, full lotus, Padmasana. All right. So you have your options. Don't sit and try to yank yourself into this thinking that this is a must, okay? Because actually, this is a cheat, okay, for where we're about to go. So I'm going to stay in Padmasana. Where we're going is hands up here, down here, and seeing what will lift out of the bottom body. Trying not to pitch my body forward, kind of harnessing and conducting from within. Maybe find a bandha first. So it's a sphincter hold. Want to squeeze that area without sucking in the belly. Still want to be able to breathe. Kind of feel that seizing of the inner core control. Hands are down alongside the hips, flat. Shoulders don't come up by the ears. Shoulders are down. Chest is up. And then lift. Breath. And maybe nothing happened, okay? Now, if you were in crisscross applesauce or in 1 lotus, you can do that and just keep the foot down. And the same with crisscross, you could keep both feet down and the butt is up, okay? So I'll turn that sideways a little bit. Here's the crisscross. Let me see. How do I move my hand so that you guys can see? Okay, butt is up. Half of a lotus, just going to keep that ankle down. Lifting up, and then full lotus, lifting up. What I meant by the blocks is that sometimes the blocks can give us a little bit of an advantage, especially if we feel like we're in the T-Rex arm category, and the arms are like, I can't touch the ground. So we give our arms a booster here, but it also gives the core a little bit of a booster as well. Try not to grab the block by the sides, palm flat. You're just simulating the floor. And lift. Woo, I lost it. There we go. Up, chest up, breath. Can we still lift through the chest and the heart? Can we grow upward? And lower it down. Let's do some wrist work. I'm going to uncross the legs here, bringing the wrists down out in front, stretching that out, reflecting on that journey. Did we overstrain? Did we lose the ease and peacefulness, that ease and steadiness? I'm going to flip my wrists now with the fingertips facing me. Working that out. Come into this breath so that I don't lose it. Coming into the wholeness of me. This container. Maybe recall the 5 yamas: non-stealing, non-harming, non-lying, moderation, non-hoarding. What does that mean emotionally, spiritually, physically? And the niyamas: purity, cleanliness, dedication and devotion, santosha, contentment. Invite myself to practice that here and now and always. Self-study and surrender to something greater than myself. Practicing the wholeness of capacity and possibility in my body. The wholeness of capacity and possibility in my breath. Wholeness of capacity, possibility in my senses, and detaching from being enamored by them. Being entranced by them. Because they are still but a projection. Focus, meditation, and unification. How did I bring them all together? How did they collaborate? All right, one more time. Find where you want your legs to be. I'm going to try to switch my cross. Why I said that's a cheat is because they're all bound together. Go away. Because they're all bound together, right? I could just move around because they're kind of stuck to one another. So it gives me a little bit more bind connection, a little bit of yoking together, right? And it's a form of binding, just like when we grab the fingertips here, when we come here, binding unto itself gives strength, right? When we knot twine, we have a stronger piece when you make that rope. All right, so I'm not going to use the blocks this time, but if you want, you can bring the blocks here. Who cares if it's a millimeter? So if you're joining, conduct your energy. Find that root bandha. So we're going to squeeze that sphincter, giving solidity up through the organs, through the internal muscles, all the way up. Connecting that, hey, they've got a job. Yeah, they've got a job. Hey, have I ever spoken to them before? Maybe we should start talking to them. Spine upright and erect, asking for our scaffolding to help us. And then laugh out loud, right? Because if you say, and lift off, and nothing happens, that's cool too. We're stay present. Stay present in the application, the tapas, the dedication, the devotion, palms, maybe blocks, and lift. Woo. Chest up, shoulders down. Where's the breath? And lower that down. Woo. Good morning, right? Who knew? No. Release the legs. I'm going to lengthen my legs out in front of me. I'm going to shake them out because I was in that lotus for a bit. Ooh. Point and flex. Rotations. Sitting upright. Breath in. Exhale, come forward. Now your knees could be soft. You could bend them. Your legs could be wide apart. They could be together. Try not to be pulling or yanking or tugging. What is acceptance? Santosha. Let's find the other side of power, right? In a Taoist sense, the yin and the yang, one is not more or dominant over the other. They're equal sides of the same coin. They're parts of one another. So harness the power of softening in. Harness the power of yield and staying and stillness. Notice what are the subtle shifts going on in different fibers of muscles, in different zones and regions of your body. What is going on? How much energy and effort does acceptance take? How often do we practice it? Contentment, not tolerance, okay? I'm not saying endure some shit. Accepting that which is beyond our control, accepting that which is. Let go of a muscle set somewhere right here and observe. How is your body responding? How is your breath helping? What is your mind doing? And we'll gradually bring ourselves up. All right, so before we close, I'm going to do a little bit of a nemesis. So Joe, especially Joe, I don't know, maybe Claudia, double pigeon. All right. So if you already just went like, oh, just go ahead and do another pigeon. Fake it till you make it, or, laugh out loud. I'm going to come in a little bit closer. I'm going to bend my left leg here, trying to get my shin bone parallel with the edge of this mat here. Now I'm going to bring my right ankle on top of my left knee so that I've got ankle joint over knee joint and knee joint over ankle joint. A lot of times here, I'll move this bottom leg. A lot of times it's bent back this way, and we need to bring it forward so that shin bone may be stacked over shin bone. Now, some of us may look like this, right? Because all of this is saying, no, hell no, we won't go, right? It's like this. So that's why I was saying, hey, if you prefer, you could do one leg. So if you'd rather kind of just take one back or have it out to the side like this, just doing one, feel free. But I'm going to do a double pigeon here. I know I just changed legs, and it's okay. Twist, spine up. Remember your intention. Hear the sounds in your home, your office, wherever you are. Feel your presence among that sound. See the sights around you and see yourself in that space. See yourself in relationship to other things. Hear yourself in relationship. Feel yourself. And we'll come around to the other side. Ahimsa, non-harming. And maybe translate that out of a negative instead of it being a non. How about kindness? How do we practice that right here in our physical body? Kindness. And I'm going to come back. You could just come forward here. I like to add an eagle or bear hug. So choose whatever arm's on top or bottom and just try to switch when we do the other side. And coming forward. Oh, now there may be some intensity going on. So if you need to make an adjustment so it's less intense, do so. If you can try to practice softening around that intensity, see if we can do so. That means we need to look at what's tight. And maybe when we look at what's tight, we get to observe what that obstacle is. What is that tension around? Is it around doubt? Is it around haste? Is it around not believing? Is it around denial? Gradually coming on upright. All right, I haven't been goofy nearly enough. So I'm going to bring this foot down. I'm going to bring my right hand back behind me. I'm going to lift my butt and zoop all the way around. And here we are in the opposite direction. Laugh, goof around, do it with the kids. It's all good. A little bit of twist. Whoa. I'm noticing the difference, right? That this twist now, after some things are loosened up, warmed up, more is moving, making sure I'm not forcing that. And then coming on around, other side, breath. Working the neck too. Coming on back, let's see if I remember. There we go, switching the arm. Coming forward. Maybe starting to allow the mind's eye to reflect on what did I connect with in this time with myself today? What revealed itself to me about my patterns, my thoughts, my feelings? How balanced do I feel, or how much is one part of how I exist dominating how I exist? Is that the way I live? Do I live in a space in my body where I'm just kind of moving it around and stub my toe a lot because I just feel like, oh, well, I was in a rush or I wasn't paying attention? Or do I just accept that I am clumsy? Is that another way of saying I turned my mind off and I wasn't paying attention, I wasn't present? All right. You could do some reclinings if you like. I'm always finding that I'm running out of time, and I'm okay with that because really divorcing myself of this being like any sort of class environment about like do what I say and I'm leading you through some kind of nirvana experience. No, I'm hoping that you're walking away going, I want to start to do this a little bit more when I'm on my mat. I want to think about that. Please get a journal to have with yourself for your practice so that you know, okay, you know what? This month was all about this. Wow. And look at how I've grown in this aspect. And then how did that help me stand on one leg a little bit more? And then ultimately, how is standing on one leg helping me stand out there in whatever we face, right? None of us knew what we were going to face this year. By the time February and March rolled around, we had no idea, and how are we learning to navigate that and bring all of our practice and our tools to help us find ease and steadiness in that which is ultimately not easy and unsteady. Pandemic and protest and fighting for justice and equality and surviving and living, because living is hard. It just is. There's beauty in it, but it's hard. Thank you so much for joining. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga. Let's close together, maybe with a single Om if you wish. Om. Hands at the Anjali Mudra, perhaps reminding you to hold close to your heart the intention that you held for yourself for your practice, that you are practicing actively. We don't ever leave it. It's with us. It's for us to continue practicing. All the love and light in me is really honored to share and be in the presence of the love and light in you, and that's namaste. Namaste, everyone. Just Be Yoga, we're a donation-based community yoga outreach. If you need us or want us to offer meditations or yoga to your group or your work setting, let us know. Go to our website. You can hit the Book Me button there. We're going to be having live yoga, 7 o'clock, Turner Dodge tomorrow. Also, 8 a.m. Saturday morning up at the Turner Dodge House here in Lansing. Look it up. Google it. Please, if you have any spare change to give, hit us up with a little bit of donation on paypal.me/justbeyoga. Namaste. It's great to see you all. Have a beautiful day.